Welcome to my workshop. In today's video, a very requested one. I do have two lasers, as you can see, and more or less they look the same. Well, this one is the Creality Falcon A1 and this one is the Creality Falcon A1 Pro. I'm going to be going through the main differences between them and actually trying to help you decide which one is best for you. First of all, let's talk about the things that they've got in common. Well, the size of them is more or less identical. You've got 470 millimeters by 550 millimeters by 210 millimeters. So the boxes themselves, they are very compact. So if you don't have much room in your workshop, well, this is actually quite perfect. Another very important feature is the fact that both of them do support air assist. And best of all, it's an automatic system. This plugs in straight into the machine. It doesn't have a separate power brick, so that's absolutely fantastic. And best of all, in both cases, the machine with the software will dictate how much air volume the machine will use. Okay, so you don't have to mess around with anything. When engraving, to get the best possible quality, it will use lower settings for the air pump, and when cutting, when you do need that air support, it will automatically go right up to 100%. And that's the first feature I consider a very user-friendly feature and perfect for a beginner when it comes to laser engraving and cutting. I believe air support is absolutely crucial when it comes to cutting. It will give you far better results when cutting. It will give you far better quality of cuts, and it will not have that nasty overburn on your material. So the cleanup process is reduced to minimum. Now, as I mentioned, the bodies of these machines are more or less identical. You've got access to your materials from the top and from the front, which is super convenient. The see-through panels are made from material that will ensure that the blue dot laser is not harmful to your eyes. And also, both of the machines do come with cameras, making sure you can align your workpieces inside. But also, they do have a very cool feature, which I'm going to show you in just a second. And on both machines, right at the back, you've got fans to actually extract the fumes out, which again is absolutely fantastic if you want to use it in an office environment and you don't really need to have a super well ventilated room. Yes, of course it will help, but you can attach a hose right to the back of both of the machines, chuck it through the window, or actually install an inline extractor to get all those fumes out. So you won't have the nasty fumes lingering around your workspace. Apart from the protective glass at the top and at the front, both of the machines do come with some safety features that you expect from these types of machines. For example, the emergency stop button, a key that will prevent others from using your machine, and also if you do lift the lid from the top or from the front as the machine operates, it will stop the laser automatically. And both of them do have a very unique feature when it comes to the cameras, which I'm going to show you right now. On the Creality website, you can pick up materials from them, for example, basswood boards or acrylic boards. And with those materials, you can actually get this QR card that represent each material. In this case, I've got 3mm basswood. What that will do, as you put the material in, wag the card inside as well with the QR code facing upwards, the camera itself will read the QR code in the Creality design space to give you the best settings for said material. Check this out. So this is the Falcon design space. I'm gonna close the lid down, and now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna slightly elevate the lid for the machine to recognize the QR code, and there you go, automatic material identification. I'm gonna press yes, and straight away we've got the best settings for our material. And as you can see, the material has automatically shifted to basswood board 3mm. And in here, line engraving, that's the best settings for this material. Fill engraving, same settings, and line cutting 350 by 100% power. Okay, so That's another beginner friendly feature that both of the machines have. I've not seen any other machines that are able to do that. And also both of the machines will require almost no assembly at all straight out of the box. You just put in all the wires, all the cables, and you're ready to go in 5 minutes. So that's another very good point where it comes to being user friendly and beginner friendly as well. Now these are the main features that both of the machines have. Now let's talk about the things that actually make both of them a little bit different from each other. First of all, the A1 model does come only with a 10-watt module. Don't be fooled by that low number. That module is actually very capable when it comes to cutting and absolutely perfect when it comes to engraving. When it comes to the A1 Pro, well, over here we've got double the power. 20-watt module is the base module, but there's more things happening here that are very cool and unique. Mainly, you can purchase as an extra, as an accessory, another module for the A1 Pro. This one is 2 watts infrared module. Okay, so it will enable you to engrave other materials that the normal blue diode cannot. Silver, gold and metals mainly. Okay, however, you have to be aware, because it's only 2 watts, it is very slow. Okay, you're not going to achieve very high speeds of engraving those materials. You need to consider the fact, well, it will take its time to actually do the engraving. However, if it's something that is piquing your interest and you would have a use for a infrared module like this, but at the same time you are still a beginner, tell you what, Creality really took it to the next level when it comes to swapping the modules out. It's an absolute doddle and it will take you seconds. Let me show you. On the left hand side you've got all the power cables and the air assist going in. There's a small lever. When you press it, you can then pull all the wires instantly. On top, on the right hand side, you've got the lever to unlock the locking mechanism. Well, that's it. You can just pull the laser module out and replace it for the other one. How easy is that? But remember, that infrared module is a separate accessory that you can get for the A1 Pro. If you are a beginner, you may ask the question, well, what is the actual difference? So this one does have 10 watts, this one has the 20 watts, so clearly the 20 watts should be better. Well, that depends on the type of jobs you want to do. In general, the smaller wattage modules will have a smaller laser dot, and that means you can get better resolution of your engravings and overall better quality of your engravings. However, between 10 watts and 20 watts, the difference shouldn't be that visible. You would have to really pay attention to the details to see any difference in the quality of both of the machines. However, that is the difference. Another difference between 10 watts and 20 watts is the fact that the 20 watts will be able to engrave the same graphic faster. However, as you know, the maximum speed of engraving is the same at both machines. But it's about the quality I'm talking about. Especially for you, I'm going to run an experiment for you to show you exactly the difference between the laser module powers. Okay, I'm going to engrave my photo on both of the machines on the 3mm basswood board with the same settings. Okay, so you'll see what type of quality you will achieve on both machines, different modules, but with the same settings. When that's completed, I'm gonna increase the speed on the A1 Pro to more or less achieve the same result as I did with A1, and we'll see how much time we managed to save on these engravings. Alright then, that's the photo I want to engrave. The settings for the A1 model, 12,000 millimeters per minute, 90% power. Let's see what results we'll get and how long it will take to engrave this. That engraving took 18 minutes and 31 seconds. Very nice and clean engraving. Okay, looking good. Now I'm going to do the same engraving next to this, but on the A1 Pro with the same settings. And there we go. Of course, the time for completion would be exactly the same, as we have used the settings, exactly the same, but check how much darker this is. And that is due to more power from the module. Now I'm going to run another test on the A1 Pro with faster movement, and we'll see how much time we'll actually save and what type of results we'll be able to get. And this is the time the laser managed to finish this job, and as you can see, it's a significant improvement on the A1. The A1 Pro did it a lot faster, but let's have a look at the results. It's much lighter than the same settings as on the A1, and actually this looks really good. However, this one is still darker than the A1 at 12,000 millimeters per minute. So you could actually go even faster to achieve the same results, which will mean even more time saved. Now, hopefully this simple test did show you the key difference between a 10-watt module and 20-watt module. But it's not only about engraving. The difference will be also visible when it comes to cutting. And I have done some tests on my initial videos when I was checking these machines out. And yes, as to be expected, the A1 Pro definitely managed to cut through thicker materials. So from that perspective, again, the 20-watt module just gives you a little bit more. And to be fair, when it comes to the quality of engraving, you know, with a naked eye, you're not going to really see that much difference between the 10-watt and the 20-watt. However, the 20-watt brings other features to the table, like fast engraving times and ability to cut through materials faster and thicker. Another key difference between the A1 and the A1 Pro is the screen. The A1 Pro does come with a screen. The screen itself is not massive, and you can actually quite easily remove it off your machine. It does have some basic options, basic settings and information, but you also can navigate your machine. So for example, you can upload some projects, and yeah, you can autofocus, which I'm going to show you in a second, frame it, engrave it, file cutting. You can move the laser head to any position, so you've got all the basics. However, the absolute best feature, at least in my opinion, that the Pro version has is the ability to autofocus. It's another feature for this machine to be super friendly to beginners. Let me show you that now. So what does it actually mean? Well, you need to set up the correct focal length for the laser to the material. Each time you're changing the thickness of the material, you have to change the position of the laser head according to that thickness, okay? So it's the distance between the laser module to the material you're going to be engraving and cutting. In the A1 version, you do get this really handy plate, and what you need to do, place it just underneath the module. You do have two screws at the side. They will release the module, you will drop it down on that plate, and you secure it back, and that is your focal length set for the material you're going to be cutting or engraving. In the Pro version, you can use this and do it manually. However, in the software itself, you do get a button autofocus, and you simply have to press that to autofocus your laser. Simple as that. Check this out. And that's it. That is done. So as you can see, this machine is absolutely perfect for someone that is starting the adventure with laser engraving and cutting. Everything is thought through and super easy to use. So what are the prices? Well, they will vary a little bit from where you live. Let's go with American dollar. Currently, the A1, you can pick it up for $549. For that amount of money, I think this is one of the best laser engraving and cutting machines you can get as a beginner to start off your business or your hobby. So how much is the Pro version? Well, to be fair, with all those really fantastic options, it's not that much more expensive. Currently, today, as I'm recording this, you can pick it up for $879. With the out of focus feature alone and a fully enclosed body, tell you what, that is a fantastic price as well. But as I say, the price will vary depending on where you live. As I said, I already do have videos fully covering these two machines, so if you want to see more detailed testing, well, I've got you covered. I'm going to drop some links to those videos down below in the description of this one, so you can go ahead and check them out. But also, if you want to find out how much they actually cost in your country, I'm going to have some links down below as well. However, at this point, I just wanted to say a massive thank you to my Patreons for the ongoing support. And before you go, check out these two cool playlists, plenty of great videos already there. So I hope to see you on my next video. Till then, take care.